Hi, I'm Crystal. Today we're going to make some personalized tags to go on our gift bags. I really love using gift bags, but I like to have a personalized tag to make them a little fancier. We're just going to use some household supplies, stuff you probably have around your house now. I'm going to do two different versions. This first one is a watercolor resist, and for this we're using a white crayon applied very heavily to write the recipient's name on the white index card. And then we're going to use a little bit of watercolor to make that white writing pop right off that white index card. You could use another color of crayon. I just really like the look of a white resist. So I'm just applying the watercolor in a loose, artsy style, and you can adjust your colors to any season, obviously. I'm intending these for Christmas gifts, so I could have used red and green, but I think that these are actually nice springy colors. I think this would work for a birthday equally well. So the watercolor does need to dry for just a second, and I'm going to do another version just to show you a different color combination. So apply the crayon in a nice heavy hand so that the letters are going to be nice and legible. You want to get a lot of wax on that card, that index card. And once you've got the name written on, then we are going to apply that very inexpensive watercolor over top of it. If you don't happen to have watercolor, a water-based marker, if you scribble that down on a plastic bag, you can pick that up with a little bit of a paintbrush, and that would work equally well. But these watercolors are really inexpensive, and you may have some of these to hand. So this one I'm going to do in shades of blue and green, blend them together just a little bit. So I think that I could have used red and green again for these holiday tags, but I kind of like this blue-green mix for my brother-in-law. So I'm going to blend the colors just a little bit to be extra artsy, and make sure that those letters really come out off that white card. So once you've got the paint applied to this second card as well, got to set this aside to dry for just a second. And we're going to do the next variation. So if you don't have watercolors or crayons, you can just use some pictures. So a picture of your recipient works really well here. Just print it on plain copy paper. If you don't happen to have a photo of your recipient, you can use a photo of a celebrity. And just remember, if you're going to use a photo of a celebrity, that every one of your relatives looks like somebody attractive. Your grandma looks like Viola Davis or Rihanna, Christie Brinkley maybe. Your grandpa looks like George Clooney or Brad Pitt. I also think it would be funny if you did a whole group of these tags and let your relatives duke it out about which one of them looks like George Clooney the most. Or maybe that's just me. But I'm just attaching these plain paper photos with a little bit of glue stick. That's going to work just fine. You don't need any kind of fancy adhesive. Glue stick is perfect. And I'm going to let that dry for just a second before we move on to making these look a little bit more like tags and less like index cards. But first we're going to glue down Viola Davis here in her very sparkly dress. I don't know which red carpet event she was at when this picture was taken, but she does look very nice in this photo. Okay, we're going to get her stuck down. So if you pick an unattractive photo, that's an unforced error. So you don't have to use a picture of a person, of course. I mean, you could put any kind of picture on the tag. You know, maybe if your grandma's a baker, you're going to use a picture of a cookie. I think that would work just equally well. But anyway, now we're going to make these look a little bit more like tags. And so I've taken an extra index card and I've marked some corners on it to make a tag shape. And I used an extra index card so that I could kind of fiddle with it until I was happy. And then I'm going to use that as a template and trace and pencil onto my already decorated cards. I'm just going to mark off these angled cuts at the top to make a little bit of a tag shape. I don't know that this step is really required, but I like a little bit of a tag shape there. And so once I've marked them off, I'm just going to use some household scissors to cut off those corners, and then we'll have a nice tag. The watercolor isn't even quite dry at this point, but we're moving quickly through this little project. These are very fast tags. Now I'm going to use an ordinary hole punch. This is a 1/4-inch hole punch. If you have one of these, it's the perfect size. If not, you can just stick a little hole with a ballpoint pen or a pencil through the top of your tag to tie a little piece of ribbon in. And there we go. A very, very quick project to make some personalized tags. Hope you enjoyed. Thanks for joining me today.